Matter of fact, in the beginning, you were almost, like a lot of bodybuilders, at the brink of walking away from your passion simply because of economics. But you chose to stick around, and now you're living the dream. Let's go back. Let's take it back to like 2005, 2006. Where were you in terms of trying to live out your dream as a bodybuilder?
You know, okay, that's a pretty interesting way of looking at it. To go back, I probably have to, okay, so let me say this, and I know it's one of those Greene answers, so you might have to take a little while, you know, sit back, relax, and I'm going to try to make sense of the things that I have going on in my head to answer the question that you just asked.
We'll get to that. Get to the question later, go ahead.
But in order to understand the miracle of the achievement, you almost have to know a lot more about the humbleness of the beginning, you know, and to understand a little bit more of how interesting the set of challenges were to begin with. I had an interview yesterday, and I was fortunate enough to sit there with four-time Mr. Olympia Jay Cutler, and I got a chance to really learn some very interesting things while being exposed to that experience, and I want to get to those in a minute. But to answer the question that you just asked me, in the very beginning, there was nothing but objections that I was able to see. In other words, wherever I looked, there was multiple objections. So it wasn't, and the objections weren't just the finances or not having or lack thereof, but it was the support, it was the resources, it was also the personal structure necessary to even recognize your own power and your ability to realize that you have a choice or even a say in this matter. All right, so what I'm doing now is trying to take you back to another time when you were talking about a young man that's not even a man yet. He's a boy, and he's now in an institutional facility, and in that institutional facility there is not the ability to decide for himself even what time he's going to go to bed, what time he's going to get up, or even if he can work out. In fact, to do those things is a demonstration of something else that would have been looked at as problematic. When I started the diet, my first diet, I was thought to be on suicide watch. So when I started eating bread and water because I wanted to get ready for a bodybuilding competition that pretty much, for the most part, was thought to be impossible, because it was improbable to imagine that you would be allowed to be released from the facility to go out into the community, participate in a bodybuilding event, and then come back to the institutional facility and then be locked up again with your trophy. It was unheard of, you know? So what I'm trying to say is that even in that, there was a big objection, you know? So the idea to diet and to train and to prepare was only an objection, or at least it could have been. But I wanted to see something else. And what I'm trying to say is that what had to happen was I was forced to really get a keen understanding of what it is to be a visionary, what it is to develop faith, what it is to develop the personal strength to see the things that don't yet exist as if they were, and to believe it as real as gravity, even when the picture around my immediate space or my immediate sphere of influence would have said no. Objection, objection, objection. So what I'm trying to say is that from the very beginning of my personal experience in this thing that we now know as a monumental achievement in bodybuilding, or in the life of a bodybuilder seeking to express himself as a top-tier champion in bodybuilding, in order to realize the magnitude of that, we have to look at the beginning. And I dare say all of that to say this, that even when I thought that I did not have, even in the midst of what was perceivable objections, like the lack of finance, the lack of support, the lack of enough personal development, there still was a wealth of possibility.